Windows updates and Fedora updates both get the job done, but the experience is very different. On Linux, updates feel cleaner, more predictable, and you get to decide when they happen. On Windows, you usually see one big feature update each year. Security fixes land monthly on Patch Tuesday, and sometimes out-of-band updates arrive if something urgent comes up. Updates usually need a reboot. Windows 11 lets you schedule them and sets active hours automatically. But if you leave updates pending, the system will eventually restart to finish the job. This often happens overnight if the device is idle and plugged in. But if the device is off, Windows will catch up the next time you power on. And that is why people so often get stuck waiting at the working on update screen, and they just want to start using their computer. App updates are separate. The Microsoft Store handles most of them. Windows updates can include Microsoft products if you enable that option, but it's not a single place that covers everything. Firmware updates are mixed. Some vendors publish BIOS and device firmware updates through Windows Update. Many still rely on separate tools like Dell Command or Lenovo Vantage. Whether the firmware updates are handled for you really depends on the hardware vendor. Major releases also arrive less often. Moving from Windows 10 to Windows 11 is the big example. Those upgrades are a bigger shift that you only see once every several years. Fedora, on the other hand, takes a very different approach. Updates are smaller, but they happen almost every day. Running an update covers the operating system, plus applications you installed from Fedora's repositories, or any additional repos that you have enabled, and flatbacks can be updated in the same session. On KDE, Discover uses offline updates. When you choose to apply updates, they are staged and then installed during the next reboot. This avoids replacing files while they're in use and prevents the mix of old and new libraries that can happen with a live update. You decide when to start that reboot, so timing is always in your hands. Firmware updates are handled through the Firmware Update Manager. It uses the Linux vendor firmware service. That includes BIOS, SSDs, Thunderbolt controllers, docks, and other supported hardware. These updates also appear in Discover, so you can apply them through the same update process without needing extra vendor tools. Major releases happen about twice a year, so moving from Fedora 41 to 42 is done in place using DNF, which is the package manager on Fedora. Your apps and settings carry over. You do not have to upgrade right away, but if you stay on an older release for too long, it eventually loses support and stops getting updates. Fedora gives you frequent updates that cover the OS, the applications and firmware, and the process is completely in your hands. Windows updates can happen less often, but they can and often will interrupt you, and firmware coverage really depends on the manufacturer. So that's the difference. Windows updates feel heavier, less frequent, and sometimes get in your way. Fedora updates are lighter, more regular, and give you full control over when they happen. For me, that makes updating on Linux a better experience. If you've made it this far, go treat yourself to a cookie, but before you go, drop a comment or just leave an emoji for the sake of engagement. Thanks for watching, you guys take care, and I will catch you in the next one.